Greetings everybody! Today I have a very special and very rare fruit. Something that I've been actually trying to find for a while now. It is called MAPRANG. And MAPRANG is related to mangoes, but it's not the same species, it's not the same genus, it is the same family. So it's quite distantly related to mangoes. This fruit is used in a lot of different ways. People make pickles out of it, people use it cut up in salads, people make juices out of it. Where I am right now is Hanoi in Vietnam, and if you go to the markets here, you'll see a lot of people selling this. But people sell it in different levels of ripeness. A lot of people were selling these green, and when you buy them green, I believe people cook with them. Me, I don't really have the ability to cook right now. I wanted to find these fully ripe, which was actually not super easy to do. I'm not going to try it right away though. First, I want to cut it in half, because I have heard that when you cut this in half, there's something interesting inside. Well, would you look at that? Very, very orange on the outside, very, very purple on the inside. Nifty. Holy moly. They're sour. Oh. Very sour. That is a 10 out of 10. That is as sour as a lemon, at least. Wow. I wasn't expecting that. However, in retrospect, when I bought this, the woman tried to tell me not to buy it. She's like, no good, no good. And I was like, no, I want to buy it. She's like, no good. She sold it to me, but she was just like warning me that I might not like it. That's why. They're really sour. So it tastes like a mango crossed with a lemon. That's what that tastes like. It is like actually citrusy. But beyond that, it does have a nice mango flavor in it. It's not especially sweet. Maybe it is sweet and I just can't tell because it's so sour. Maybe that's why. But from what I can tell, I would give this like a 3 out of 10. The texture of this is kind of interesting. It's not like a mango, at least not like a typical mango. It's got a little bit of like a gel sort of feel to it. One thing of note is that these are very fragile. The flesh on the inside, as I've mentioned, is very soft and jelly-like, and the skin of it is very thin. So because of that, I bought, not too many of these, like a handful of them, but half of them got damaged in just like putting them in a bag. Not really a whole lot of being knocked around or anything, but by the time I got to my hotel, a lot of them were kind of like cracked and breaking. As you can see there, it's got a crack in it. So I don't think that this would do so well with being sold at like a supermarket or something. And that might explain why you find these green a lot of times, because once they get ripe like this, they get very, very fragile. So I stripped one of the seeds out, and it looks like a little purple kidney bean. Pretty nifty looking. And from what I have been seeing online, these are edible. People do eat them. However, I don't think it's eaten as commonly as the fruit on the outside. But mango seeds are also edible. I've made a video in the past about eating mango seeds. But take that with this little disclaimer. Some people have a sensitivity to mangoes because they contained certain compounds that can give you trouble. They are related to poison ivy. So if you have any kind of allergy to mangoes, you would probably have a pretty serious allergy to the seed on the inside. So you might want to proceed with caution. As far as I know, I am not allergic to mangoes whatsoever, so I feel fairly confident taking a bite out of this, but you might not want to. Okay, so let's give it a shot. You definitely don't want to, because that's really, really, really bitter. Poo. Maybe it's possible to prepare that. And that's why people say online that it is edible. I think with mango seeds, generally, you also want to prepare them. You typically fry them. So maybe if you fried that, it would be okay. But raw, I would not recommend that. But I am not done yet. I'm going to next try the pickled MAPRANG, if I can find it. I found some. So this I actually got here where I live in New York City. It was at an Asian supermarket that had a little section of products from Thailand. So this came from Thailand, and the name on it is not MAPRANG, but Marian Plum. I realized something. The fruit that I had in Vietnam, pretty sure that was not meant to be eaten out of hand. I'm pretty sure that was meant to be pickled, and that's why the lady that sold it to me was trying to deter me from buying it. Pickled fruit is very, very popular throughout Southeast Asia, but in Vietnam especially, I saw a lot of vendors who were selling fruit that was meant to be pickled or was already pickled. So I'm pretty sure that is why that happened. So this is kind of interesting because I will try this and see what the fruit that I had in Vietnam was intended to be. And after this, I actually did find a ripened fruit that was meant to be eaten out of hand, as well as the juice and a couple other things, which I will be showing you next in this episode. But first, let's try the pickles. As you can see on this one, it is green. It's maybe like ripened a little bit, so it would have had like a little bit of color to it, and the seeds have been removed. That tastes really unremarkable. All the flavor that was in the fresh fruit that I had is gone. Now it just tastes like brine. It's maybe a little bit like a bread and butter pickle, like a sweet pickle, but not as good because it has like this kind of like artificial sweetener flavor to it. I don't think it says artificial sweetener on it. Water, sugar, salt, citric acid, preservative. Maybe I'm just tasting the preservatives, but yeah, not especially good. I managed to fish out a bigger one, so let's see if this has any difference to it. The flavor is the same, but the texture is different. The texture is kind of unique because like you get a little bit of resistance from the skin when you're biting through that. And then you get this like little burst of jelly. It's very soft, but it's being held together by the skin. So that's kind of unique. I think that would be pretty interesting if it were freshly pickled. Like if you were to pickle the fruit that I had in Vietnam, like do it properly, just like a little bit of salt, sugar, water, that would be pretty good, I think. But this, with like all the preservatives and being on the shelf for like 7 years, not very good. However, it's gonna get better because next we're going to go to Indonesia. I visited Indonesia during peak MAPRANG season. These things were everywhere. They were ripe and ready to be eaten out of hand. Not pickled, but eaten fresh. So, let's go. So I am in Ambon in the Maluku Islands, and this is the Pasar Bouea, which means fruit market. Let's see if I can find some fruit today. So we've Gandaria?
Yeah, Gandaria.
Gandaria?
Canary.
Canary. It's a canary nut. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I am going to review this again. Where I am right now, it is high season for these. Here they call this fruit Gandaria. Not gonorrhea, Gandaria. Don't want to get gonorrhea, guys. And everybody has this right now. Everybody's selling it. Even like when I was driving into the city from the airport, trying to get to my hotel, there were vendors all along the street selling this thing. This thing is popping right now. And this time, as I was walking down through the market, like everybody was trying to sell me this. So the complete opposite reaction that I was getting compared to my experience in Vietnam. So I think it's worth trying it again. And even holding this in my hand, I can tell that this is different. It is heavier for its size, which means maybe a little sweeter, a little juicier, and it is actually very soft. Because these are in season, they are being picked at like just the right time. These are very, very fresh and ready to go to be eaten out of hand. And I think maybe the one in Vietnam was being picked a little bit green. This one just feels like if I don't try it now, it's gonna pop. Just, yeah, like that. You just like pierce right into it. Ooh. Yeah, this is just falling apart. This is not sour like the other one. Wow, this is different. This is a completely different experience. And it is just, it's managing to hold itself together somehow. But this thing is super, super soft. It's like biting into Jello. It's so soft. So juicy. As I'm getting closer to the seed, I am getting tartness. But the outside is not tart. A little bit, like a 2. But as I'm like working on it, it's growing. And now it's like an 8. It's quite sour once you get in there. But it's also quite sweet. The one in Vietnam was not sweet. This one is sweet. Maybe like a 6 out of 10. So because of that, it balances out pretty well. Now that tartness and the sweetness work together. If the one in Vietnam was like a cross between a mango and a lemon, this one is like a cross between a mango and an orange. It still is citrusy. It still does have a mango taste, but it's better. It is better out of hand. The one in Vietnam I liked. I did like it. I think even when these are a little bit underripe or not like at the right peak season, they still are good. But when they are like super, super ready, super, super fresh, it's even a better experience. This tastes really good. It has like a little bit of a resiny flavor to it. So maybe not just like orange juice, but a little bit of like orange rind flavor, but in a good way. Like not harsh, not bitter, but like candied orange rind mixed in. In Vietnam, the pickles are very popular, so it makes sense that people are picking them a little bit unripe, you know, to do something with them. Here, they're not really known for their pickles so much, they are known for their juice. So they take these and they make a juice out of them, and it's a specialty to this area. Very, very popular here, especially now. So I'm gonna try that next. I am the only person here right now because it is pouring rain outside. As usual, it's been raining every day. I got some of the juice, and it's not Gandaria, it's Gandaria. That's probably also wrong, but it doesn't sound like gonorrhea. And it doesn't taste like gonorrhea either, I hope. Right by the road, by the way, in case you didn't notice. It leans a little bit more towards a resiny taste when you have it this way. I think maybe because they're mixing like several different fruits in one. It's sweet, but not as sweet as the fruit fresh. You know, it's diluted. It's maybe like 2 out of 10. It's not that tart. They actually gave me a little shot glass of like simple syrup to throw in there if I wanted to make it sweeter. I think it needs it, but not because it's too sour, but because it's not that sweet. Goes down real easy. So the flavor I'm getting from it is actually kind of different. I'm picking something in there that I didn't notice before, and it's like this floral apricot kind of taste. And it reminds me a bit of one of my favorite fruits, the mame apple. Not mame sapote, that's different, but mame apple has like this apricot-y taste, but it kind of hits you in the nose. This is doing that. It's not, I think they watered it down. They didn't just use the fruit, they put water in here. And because of that, it's like falling a little bit, it's losing a little bit of the punch. I kind of wish it was like all juice, but it has this layer of complexity to it that I really like. So, Gandaria fruit is a great fruit. Really like it. Also, great juice.
Gandaria. It's very unripe though.
Yeah, very unripe because they're gonna use it for sambal.
For sambal.
Sambal.
What do they do with it? They
There's just chop.
chop it up.
Yes, scratch it into sambal.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. So you can use this one, or you can use this one. Use it
MacLeod or this
Bouea.
one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Try.
But wait, there's more. It has been many, many months since I tried the fresh Gandaria fruit. And I have come back to Indonesia, this time not to the Malukus, but Borneo. I am in Kalimantan right now. And I went to the market in Kalimantan and I saw somebody selling a little green fruit. For a long time, anytime I would see little green fruits at the market, I would ignore them because there's a ton of them, for one. There's just like a ton of them and it's hard to tell what's what. But those days are now over. Now, whenever I see little green fruits, I want to know what they are. I go through the extra effort to find out what is that little green fruit. And in this case, I went to the market here in South Kalimantan and I found this little green fruit. This little green fruit is actually an unripe Gandaria fruit. Yeah, so I have never seen this anywhere else in all my days, unless maybe I saw it and I didn't pick it up because it's a little green fruit. But I don't think I've seen this before anywhere else, so I think it might be a specialty to the area where I am right now. This is used to make sambal, a special kind of sambal. A lot of people in the US, they think sambal is just like the rooster paste, like that stuff. That is, I guess, like one kind of sambal, but there's many different kinds of sambal if you come to Indonesia. They're all like different blends of different chilies and other kinds of ingredients. Some of them have shrimp paste, some of them have garlic, some of them have like other sorts of things. And one of them has this in it. The kind that this is typically used in is one called Sambal terasi. And I believe terasi means shrimp. Usually Sambal terasi is, I believe it's like chilies, shrimp, I think some garlic is in there, maybe some shallots or something. So this is added to typical Sambal terasi to make it Sambal terasi Gandaria. And it's a specialty, so special that I've never seen it like in a packet or a jar or anything. I've been trying to find that, no.
Does he sell the sambal?
No.
No. Okay, this is if I want to make it at home. Interesting.
Now, I would love to make Sambal terasi with the Gandaria fruit in it, but I got a few problems here. Okay, number one, I don't eat shrimp. If I eat shrimp, I'm gonna start like throwing up, and you don't want to see that. Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna do that. And so I could leave out the shrimp, but I'm in a hotel. I don't have the means to like grind up a bunch of stuff right now. But what I do have is this. Okay, this is a packet of a sambal, different kind of sambal. Sambal petis? Petis? I don't know. And this does not have any shrimp or fish or anything in it. So I can use this with this, combine them together, and make my own sambal with the Gandaria in it. So this is not like 100% authentic. Okay, I'll be honest with you, this is not entirely authentic. However, it's gonna get me as close as I am comfortable getting, considering I'm in a hotel room right now and I don't want to get sick. Okay, so let's do it. So first we're gonna peel it. Maybe you can use the skin. Probably. I apologize for the crappy lighting right now. It is late at night. Just in case you're skeptical that this is an authentic, official Gandaria fruit, check that out. Dark purple on the inside. First, let's try just a little piece of it on its own. No chilies involved. Pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, it tastes like a really sour Gandaria fruit. It actually has the texture of a ripe mango. Not a ripe Gandaria, but a ripe mango. The flavor of this, when it's unripe, is actually quite good. This tastes like a fruit. You know, it doesn't give you astringency, it's not bitter, it's not especially leafy tasting or anything like a lot of unripe fruits would be. It tastes more like a fresh fruit that you'd want to eat out of hand than a green mango does. The recipe I was looking at said to add slices of Gandaria and then crush them into the sambal. So I don't have the ability really to crush this, but I will cut it up into little pieces like so. Put on top of some rice. Got a spoonful of rice, a little sambal, a couple of slices of the Gandaria. My mouth is on fire right now. That sambal is very, very hot. That's a very hot sambal. But it's good. It is good. And the unripe Gandaria in this is nice. It's nice. It reminds me of like a mango salsa that's had a bad day. You know, like it's fiery. It's definitely very, very hot. But like that flavor mixes really well with the chili. And I'm talking like mango salsa using a ripe mango. Because this tastes more like a ripe mango than an unripe mango. The Gandaria still retains a lot of its sweetness. It still it has a ton of sourness to it. It still has a nice texture to it. So having it like this is good. It's good. It adds another element. I mean, it has a little sweetness, a little fruitiness. It's nice. So I think that's about it, everybody. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. I would like to give a big shout out to Jamie Bull. Jamie is a super patron over on patreon.com, and Patreon is how this channel happens, how I can fund all the adventures that I go on. So Jamie, thank you very much. To anyone watching who is interested in supporting the channel and getting some really cool bonuses in return, like exclusive videos, early access to videos, all sorts of stuff, check out the links in the description below.